We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on McWilliams UCF Corner. This guy is an absolute dog out there. He's one of the guys in this class that's going to be, seen as a little undersized. He's about 5'10", 190. That has experience playing both on the outside and in the nickel. I think, he's probably going to be more suited as a nickel at the next level. But, he has some good film playing outside corner as well. Good instincts. Very comfortable in man, but also has, zone awareness as well. Plays with good feet. I think the reason teams might not love him on the outside is because of that size, and I don't think he has, a great, top-end speed or anything. He's more quick than he is fast, playing, strong, tough. This guy gets downhill. He's willing to make tackles, be involved, which always helps as, a slot defender. Makes some good plays versus screens. And, he had some good battles going against, Colorado, match it up versus, Travis Hunter. Some fun film versus the good TCU players as well at receiver. Some nice ability to recover, get back to exactly where he needs to be. He's just a fun player to watch that plays with good instincts, good quickness, and is willing to be physical. He's a good tackler as well, smooth in his pedal. So we'll break this down. First play here, matched up in the bunch. He's the guy matched up on the point of attack here. Number 2 receiver, so basically playing as that slot defender. I believe that might be LeJontay Wester, actually. Pretty draftable receiver, and he does a pretty good job. Guys running the corner route, he does a good job, staying square. Once the guy comes to the inside, he opens up those hips. When to get physical, stays in the hip pocket. He's in a spot here where, he's trailing, and now, this guy potentially has a two-way go, but McWilliams knows he has help to that inside, so he starts to anticipate and, stay on that outside half. Stay, boom. Run with it, don't panic either, and then once you see the receiver commit those hands, boom, play through his hands and knock that ball out. Really good job from McWilliams, especially being in a trail position, not to panic. He knows he probably doesn't have time to turn and locate that ball just based on where he is, so he's just going to play through the hands of the receiver and knock that ball out. Very competitive guy, good rep there from Mac. Here, one-on-one, still versus Colorado, who all have, some good receiving threads just across the board. A lot of guys who, potentially could get drafted even outside of Travis Hunter, or guys who, might be priority UDFAs, but guys who could give you a potential challenge. Here he is playing more in an off-man position. He's staying patient. Good job, staying square initially. I think he looks comfortable in his pedal, plays with good feet, plays with good, balance, bend in his lower half, not leaning too far over the top. And once the guy commits, open up those hips. He has high upfield shoulder positioning, so he knows the back shoulder is pretty likely. Try to throw the back shoulder, adjust, play through there. Ball's a little bit off target, but he's in a position to make a play at the catch point. You can see it better from this angle for the finish, and he's does a good job seeing hey, I'm not gonna get to that ball just because of where it's placed. So in case this guy makes a miraculous catch, let me try to push him out of bounds. So understanding situational awareness. But this guy's got a lot of good man-to-man ability. He's willing to get physical, but he'll also, play in that sort of soft press, inch back technique at the top here. Versus Jalen Knoll, he's also went against the Iowa State receivers and had good battles. He went against good players. Guys who are gonna get drafted. Jalen Knoll is, in my opinion, one of the top 7 receivers in this class. Arguably, higher than that. Stays in Knoll is a good threat, has a lot of speed, can throttle down on routes. McWilliams does a good job just staying patient. Knoll's trying to give him a little bit of little hop skip there into a foot fire, and then burst past him. And now once McWilliams sees that, boom, open up those hips, stay on top of it. Knows he doesn't have maybe the greatest long speed, so he can just wait until that commits, but then opens up at a good time, which is nice to see. And doesn't allow that to create any separation. One-on-one on the outside here. A little bit tough to see, but he makes competitive plays in man-to-man. He does a good job off the ball here. Weaving to maintain that outside leverage. Good job with his feet. And then now once the guy commits the outside, boom, open up those hips. Squeeze into it. Good job not allowing any separation there. And keeping that space tight. Getting a little bit physical, but without being overly physical where they're gonna call potential holding PI type thing. And then good job just playing through the hands, swipe down. You can see the guy goes up to attack it and he just swipes down through it to knock that ball out. There's like a lot of good press man-to-man reps isolated on the outside, which is good to see. But also, like, he can play very physical in the slot versus the nickel. Look at him throw his body. Look at the shock there. Boom, shock in his hands. Look at him push this guy back. He brings his whole body into it. He brings his hips, lower half, boom. Kind of sets the edge, forces the receiver back into his help, and is then able to still peel off and help, at least be involved in that tackle pile. But it's nice to see him being physical at the point of attack versus receivers. McWilliams, definitely a dog in that regard as a player. Didn't get too many like one-on-ones versus Hunter, but here he is versus Hunter one-on-one on the outside. Just opening up those hips early, kind of at least a good feel for that. This is probably a vertical route. Like he shows some, he doesn't want to get beat over the top, obviously, but like he shows a pretty good understanding. Like usually when he opened up his hips early, the guy is running just a straight go ball, so maybe he has a good feel for situations and what they're trying to run in that. And then usually when like maybe he doesn't open his hips as early, they are breaking on like a curl or a hitch. So that kind of shows to me that he has a pretty good idea of what players are trying to do just based on situations. Willing to come downhill versus screens, like they set this up. Looks like he's basically matched up one-on-one with his receiver. He understands like based on how he plays it. I think that might even be McMillan. But yeah, he plays it. Looks like he's going to block. He changed direction. Boom. Stop. Good recognition skills. He recognizes it so quickly that he's able to beat the O-lineman to the point of attack and then helps, make that tackle versus that receiver. Here's some recovery ability where this is one of the situations where he does open up his hips too early, gives up that inside path. The guy works into his blind spot. He's able to center field turn, recover, get back into a spot to potentially make a play that if this ball was thrown, that he has a chance to make a play on that post where like with no like real help there because this safety, kind of works down towards Shepard, that could have been a touchdown, so good recovery there from Mac McWilliams. Here's another example where like you are bailing, opening up your hips, you have outside leverage. This is versus Jack Besh, TCU. Ball's out a little bit late, like it probably should be completed. But based on where like he's aligned and like how he's playing this, like he shouldn't have a chance to make a play, but that he's still able to squeeze, close, show some recovery ability to get back into position right at the catch point. Ball is missed anyways, but he was there to, disrupt it, make it as tough as possible. Probably should be a completion, but that ball should be completed with how he's playing it anyways, but also the bad quarterback play. Man, the quarterback play is so tough. When you're watching some of these receivers, man, like these quarterbacks missing a lot of open guys, and that's just one example, and it's a lot of different teams. Here he is in the slot again, kind of matching up here. He sees a receiver working down a block at safety. He knows he has to replace, get down, be that basically alley defender, and then look at him once he recognizes what's going on, stick that foot in the ground, close the space, attack the outside half. Like he's good at making tackles, but also like he understands like situations like leverage and where he needs to be exactly. Like he knows he has inside help here, so he's gonna slightly take an outside angle to stop 4 on a dime. Because if he does try to just completely get him, and maybe he gets too far to the inside, maybe 4 could somehow get out there on the edge. I'd rather have McWilliams attack the outside half, slow him down, and then you make that tackle from there. Then McWilliams one-on-one down the red zone, very willing to get physical, playing as a press man guy, completely takes away that outside half, working to 7 there from TCU. It's just a lot of good reps. Certified dog, inside, outside, good instincts, a little undersized, not the, I think he's a good enough athlete, but not like a crazy athlete, which usually, you kind of have to be to, if you're undersized sometimes at corner. That's why I think they're going to see him more as a nickel, because if you're quicker than you are fast, you can definitely play nickel, and he has enough physicality to play on the inside, good coverage, versatility, willing to be involved versus the run and that kind of thing that could help him. So I think a team might, in the middle rounds, get a solid potential nickel down the line. So if you guys are doing this, like, I mean, is this guy